What's going on, everybody? Zenon here from Car Guys Garage, coming at you on this. Well, it's just turned over to 12 a.m. so it is Thursday. Whenever this video is posted, it is what it is, but I'm recording it on this Thursday at, it's actually 12:05. So I'm gonna get straight right to it, just like I normally do with these vlogs, with these style vlogs. What was that? I have 3 questions that have been asked, and they're very specific ones, these ones, and I thought that I'd make a quick video just to get to them. So get right to them and get those answers out to you guys. So first question is, are you able to make wheel center caps? So I'm assuming that those are the center caps that go on the wheels that are interchangeable or removable and are wheel specific. I've looked into making them. I made decals for mine at one point and put them on the car because I had black, I'd glossed black wheels so I could turn around and pop the cap out. I measured it and I made myself my own decal on a white background and stuff. But I looked at doing them on the lathe and or the mill, and it's the challenge is making them, one, the correct size to your wheel, and 2 is having it so that it could securely attach to the spot in the wheel. And a lot of them are mushroomed out, so it's just little thin metal around it, and it's just spread out just a little bit so that when you click it on, it presses the metal in and then it comes out as it gets to the back of the wheel. So I've looked at it, but I can't cost effectively make it with the machinery that I have. I could just make a cylinder that you could double-sided tape and put into the wheel, but that's, again, for myself, I would have no problem doing that. For me, for a paying customer, I don't know if it's necessarily the most professional thing to do. I've looked online to see if I could buy standard ones that I could engrave or powder coat and stuff like that. But again, people don't know this, but I bought license plate covers and I engraved a few. I have one on my car and I have a customer who had one, and they were apparently made out of stainless steel and they were powder coated black, and I paid pretty good money for them. And the one customer turned around and sent me pictures a couple weeks back. It had started to rust, which, as we all know, stainless steel should not be oxidizing that bad, if at all. And it's just a crapshoot, right? So if you turn around and order something online, mass purchase, and then you get it and you powder coat and you do whatever, and then it turns around and it fails, it's just, it looks terrible on my end. So not to get too far off topic, but for the license plates, I'm now turning around and having my own. I'm going to get them cut out based on my own design so that I could turn around and powder coat them, and then I can engrave them, and I know that. And I'm going to make them out of aluminum this time, and then that way I know it is what it is, and I'm not relying on someone else or another company to give me a product that is sufficient and is going to perform as well as I expect it to. So can I make them? Yes. Am I going to make them? Probably not anytime soon. But, I mean, you could twist my arm, and if you give me the dimensions, I may or may not be able to make you little discs. And then you could figure out a way to attach it. I have some ideas on how I could do it, but it would require taking the wheel off, and that's a little bit more work. But as of right now, no, I can't make them. And will I? You know what? You never know what the future holds. All right? So hopefully that answers that question. The next question is, again, with the tires. Are you going to be able to make valve stem caps out of the resin stuff that you use for shift knobs? Am I going to be able to make valve stem caps? Yes and no. Maybe I should do a video on the resin first of all and have a better explanation. But with the resin, we have to really understand that the resin burl shift knobs, they are art first, and they are shift knob or valve stem or reverse lockout or e-brake button second. The thing is that the resin needs to be treated accordingly. Like, you can't turn around. Now, I've tested my blocks. I've left knobs outside. I've left them in the sun. I've left them in water. And I've done this, and I've tried to have them fail, and I've had very, very good success. But I don't suggest that people do the same thing. So in every shift knob that I package up, I include a little card on how to take care of the resin shift knob. And we have to remember that it is art first and then product second. And if I were to make valve stem caps, obviously I wouldn't be able to make them see-through, because you'd be able to see the inside, the threading, or the cap that I would have to turn around and glue inside, because you could thread the resin, you can, but it probably wouldn't hold. And the tires, the valve stems on tires, I haven't been able to find a tap to turn around and do that size, because it's some weird size. So if someone has the information, knows where I could get the tap, let me know. But I haven't been able to find it. I looked really, really hard last year a few times, and I couldn't find it. So yeah, I'll start playing around with it. It's really hard to make little things like that, especially out of resin. And again, it's a manual lathe, so if you want to make them all an inch, you take off too much, that's it. Like, can't put it back together. So there are little bit of challenges with them. It's not impossible. I follow a few other guys who, this one guy does it for a lot of old cars, and he makes some pretty wild things, and he makes the valve stems. But again, you're starting to get up into expensive stuff, because just because they're small doesn't mean that they're cheap. And that's another thing, is you have to be very careful without pricing yourself out of the market, because I don't have the ability to create a $250 shift knob. Sorry, I have the ability to create a $250 shift knob, but my market is not where I could sell those types of shift knobs. So people ask me all the time, oh, can you do a pistol grip? Can you do this? Can you do that? Yeah, I could do it. Like, someone asked me if I can machine a sculpture, a head. I think it was a skull or something from a movie, like a skull from a specific cartoon or something. I don't remember the details, but they asked if I could turn around and do that. And I said, even if I had a CNC mill, you're looking at least $300, because the machine is going to turn around and have to cut that all out, whether you're using just a regular 3-axis mill, or I'm never probably going to have a 5-axis mill. But people don't really realize that it is expensive to run those machines. And it's not just about running the machine, it's about designing it as well. So valve stem caps, do you know what? Keep an eye out on Instagram. When I'm not super, super busy, and I have other things going on right now, but when I'm not super, super busy and I have downtime to play around with that, who knows, I might make some. But if I do ever make them, I'm going to make this right here, right now. If I ever make them, they're going to be for display purposes only, and I would not ever drive with them on your car. One reason is, if they fall off, you're going to be really upset. 2, someone's going to steal them. Plain and simple. Someone's going to teeth them. And the third reason is, they are art first, and they are product second. So, yeah. Maybe I'll make them. Keep an eye out on Instagram. All right. The last question is, and this, I've talked in other videos about what having your own business is. I've had people send me emails and comments and messages and stuff saying that owning a business is not necessarily hard, that you have to work smarter, not harder. You should be spending less time in the shop, was suggested to me, and I should be spending more time on the computer promoting. And I can't understand that one. So, but I've said this before, is that you have to put in the time and the effort when you have your own business. And when you have a business as small as mine, that is still, it's on the cusp of breaking even this year. I know it's only the 2nd of February, but in this year I'm on the cusp of breaking even. But if we roll in last year's, I'm still way at the bottom. But you don't have the ability to pay someone else to take pictures for you, or to make videos for you, or to do your website for you, or to follow you around when I'm working in the shop and do videos and stuff. I don't have that yet. So everything that I do, everything that you see, that everybody, it's all through me. So much stuff is done from me, from cutting the knobs, carving the knobs, to making the knobs, to powder coating the knobs, to packaging the knobs, to shipping the knob. All that stuff, most of it is done through me. So when you're on social media and stuff, that is me. I don't have anybody answering phones. I don't have anybody sending emails and stuff. So for this question, it says, how much time do you spend on social media and or the computer or cell phone or tablet or whatever a day? I'm going to be completely honest with you. Instagram and Facebook, just recently, well, I recently found it. I don't know how recent it came out, but it tracks your activity every single day. And it gives you an itemized your average time for the week, and it lets you know how much average time you are on every single day. So when someone messages me on Instagram or Facebook, it logs that time, and it counts it, and it lets me know. So right now I'm at about 8.5 hours a day from Instagram and Facebook. So that's commenting, that's replying to your comments, that's posting on social media, that's sending DMs and PMs, replying to them, and talking to customers. I don't think that people realize that when you send me a question, I answer it, and then I stick with that person as they have more and more questions. Obviously, sometimes you catch me at a bad time. I might be out, I might be working in the shop, can't get to the phone, working out, or I'm with my wife. There are times when I can't, and I can't respond right away, but that is all time that I spend. So if someone's talking to me, so if any of you out there are watching this and you're like, yeah, I remember before I made my order, like I talked to Zen for about 25-30 minutes on the phone. That's my time. Like, I am on the phone, and yes, I might be browsing through Instagram or Facebook, but I'm also talking to you. So I try to make the best of my time, but I take that time out, and I talk to everybody. So we're at about 8.5 hours, and that's responding to emails, that's working on the website as well, that's updating things, that's making changes here and there. So at the end of the day, I work about 8.5 hours on social media, on my computer, or on my phone, doing all sorts of things. And that, to me, was a huge eye-opener. I was tracking it all in January, and it really, it made me take a step back to realize that if I'm working 6 to 8 hours a day in the shop, and then I'm spending that much time on social media as well, that's, wow, like 16 to 18 hours a day physically working. Now, granted, yes, I could be watching TV and on my phone on social media, but still, that is a lot of time. And I really, really, really don't think some people understand that. And some people love it. Like, some people say, oh, thanks for responding so quickly. That's what I tried to do. And it's very, very hard as a one-man show to get those messages out, to get those emails out, to get all that done as quickly as people might want it. Whereas sometimes if you go to another company, they say, yeah, 24, 48, 72 hours. Like, they give themselves a little bit of time, but you don't get that instant gratification. And I guess I try to give that to people, and it comes back to bite me in the butt sometimes, but that's what I try to do. So right now, 8.5 hours, and it's editing photos as well, and I'm only using a camera on my phone, right? So I haven't got my big setup yet, or a new DSLR, or any of that stuff. So I could see it going up and up and up before it starts to go down. And that's the cost of doing business. So when people think about a business and they go, oh, you know, look at how successful this business is, look at all the people they have working on them, or look at all the stuff that they do, or the cool tools that they have, or you don't just, it doesn't happen overnight. And I want to make that very clear. That's why I make these videos. That's why I answer these questions, is that things don't happen just like that. Even when you're a big company, they don't happen like that. Like there are processes, and that's why you see things come through social media. For me, like my e-brake handles and the new shift knobs, the new honeycomb ones, they come out slowly. I can't turn around and make it overnight. Like it just doesn't happen like that, unfortunately. So yeah, if you're going to start a business and you're going to be active on social media, you have to turn around and account for that in your business model. And like I said, I could spend anywhere, like on the weekend I was at the shop for about 10 hours the one day, and then I was on social media almost the rest of the day. It seemed that I was on the phone for, you know, the rest of the entire day, and it was just, it really, it took me by surprise, because now I'm trying to stay more on top of it. But yeah, sorry to ramble, but 8.5 hours. So keep that in mind. If you're trying to start a business and you're trying to make stuff, and then you're trying to do your social, and you're trying to do your emails, website, and all that stuff, you got to be willing to put in the work, or hire someone and have them put in the work. So I don't have $40,000 lying around to pay someone a year, so I can't turn around and do that right now. But hopefully, maybe someday in the future. With that being said, if you need a shift knob, if you need an accessory, help me out. I really want to get a CNC machine by the end of the year or early next year, and I can't do it without you guys and your support. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if this is on Facebook or Instagram. Do whatever you need to do. Comment, share, reach out, do anything. Let people know about me, and if you need anything, let me know, and I'll do my best to get it out to you guys. As always, I really appreciate all the questions. I really appreciate all the support. And until next time, stay safe and happy modding. Later, everyone.